Why is creative expression important to you?
Well, when I think of movies, I think that's an art form, and I think of a lot of different art forms in the world going on today. And being creative is such an important element in this world. I believe it can help you find happiness, can help you be successful, help you accomplish a lot of other things. So, when pertaining to film, I've always loved film, and I think we can reach people at a deeper level than what we perceive. So people think, oh, it's just a movie, it doesn't mean anything. But I can tell you about like countless fights I've had with like my family, and then we sit down and watch a funny comedy, and it just brings us together. So I think that kind of creativity can bring people together and make everybody just nicer people in life.
What has drawn you to this profession?
What drew me? So my parents and just people in general always ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up, And I was like, oh, I want to be a heart surgeon. I want to be a pro runner. I wanted to, do all these things. But I was like, and I always loved movies, and television. So I thought, what job gets to do all those things? Pretty much, if you get the opportunity to play a role. So I thought, actors, they get to play those things. As well as like, I want to be a producer as well. So I thought, being able to create something as a group and all this diverse group of people and just have this art that you just created, like I think it's a great process that comes together. It makes you just feel good inside.
What is your favorite TV show or film, and why?
It's always a toss-up, but I always have to say Goodfellas because I think Martin Scorsese is just not only a genius, but he's such a visionary. He puts we grew up in like an American culture, whether it be gangsters or stockbrokers. He can put our culture up on screen, and we can see what our culture is like, what we do and the negative things, or it could be positive things as well. So that film just really inspired me to look at other films, look at films in an artistic way as well, which was really meaningful to me.
It offers a lot.
Yeah.
As a piece of work, it has a lot going in a good way. What happens when you think you're going to fail and you actually succeed?
I try to always think optimistic, like when it's other people or myself, and I try not to think I'm going to fail, but when I was in school, I'd study, and I was like, I know I'm going to fail tomorrow. But when I found out that I got a B plus instead of a D minus, I'm just like, I feel so much with joy, and I feel proud of that, and I'm happy to share it versus, oh, I'm hiding something, I got a D minus, so it feels great.
Okay. Give an example of an obstacle that you experienced, and how did you overcome the obstacle?
When I was in high school theater, we had to do a production of The Odd Couple. It was based on a movie with Jack Lemmon, and we had to film it. And one friend was just goofing around. He didn't care, and it's great. I love bringing humor on set. I love being personable with other people, but he was just not. He wasn't even he didn't remember his lines, so he had his script and he was reading it, and we're like, this is the final thing, dude. We've been practicing for weeks. So I pulled him aside. I'm like, hey, I know you know your lines. We're gonna try to get this done. We want to get a good grade. And I was like, hey, I know you want to be an actor too, so maybe someday you can put this on your demo reel or anything. So he's like, all right, you're right, man. He listened to me and said, I gotta take this serious now. So that was another obstacle, but I think when you handle it by taking someone to the side and say, let's get this done, they listen to you. So
what experiences have you had working with a diverse group of people?
So my whole life I've been in the restaurant industry. My dad's been in it for 35 years, my mom 25 years. So growing up in that, I really got to see what kind of people you get to interact with, and also just from all different sorts of countries, continents, anything, I've been a server's assistant for about 3 years now, officially. So we get tourists coming in from who knows where, just all sorts of people, and seeing them, how they interact with people, how they treat people, it gives you a mindset on what kind of characters are out there and what kind of people and personalities there are. So it readies you for the world, I think.
You learn by observing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Good answer. Give an example from your life of how you achieved an objective.
How I achieved an objective from my life. So when I was auditioning for Great Gatsby in high school, I really just wanted the part, obviously, but I was like, I want to have a good audition. I want my teacher to be say, you had a great audition. So I worked hard on the audition. I wrote down my character's objective, all these things, his story, what his purpose was in the film / play. And I practiced it, and I didn't end up getting the part, but that didn't matter to me because my objective was, hey, I just want to have a good audition. And my acting teacher eventually told me, she's like, you had a great audition, you just not the look we want. So I was proud of that.
It's good to remember that too. You can give your best audition and still not be what they're looking for. What's the things that you bring to the table that define your uniqueness?
I think my uniqueness, well, my personality and dedication, as well as I'm also Hispanic, so I think a lot of those three things come together to have a joyous person on set and also someone who cares deeply about the project we're doing. So I'm able to get things done. I'm always the person who's like, if I start something, I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to leave it there for weeks on end and never get to touch it. I want to get it done and in a fun, collaborative way as well. So I think that defines me the best.
How do you handle rejection or failure?
To be honest, I take it pretty harsh at times. I take it harsh for about let's say like 2 days, and then eventually I'll be okay with it. But I think that just goes to show that I do care about the things I'm auditioning for, and things I'm working on. So like, if it doesn't work out the way I do, I get discouraged. But the same way, it just shows that I really care deeply about what's going on here. So, but I end up recovering eventually through tears and food.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
As long as it's safe, that's all that.
Yeah, right.
All right. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years, hopefully, professionally working in the business, being able to live off that, raise a family, have a nice wife, and enjoy the American dream, so to speak. But being able to enjoy my industry and work in the industry, especially, and enjoy the pleasures of life we have here in this country.
All right. I think that's all I have. Do you have anything? All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.